approval tonight, and that's the last item before our committee. There will be a short break before the next committee.
Since there's time.
I'm wondering if they... I don't know. What? Oh, you're this one, right? So then you'll just take this. But I think...
Tracy, whenever you're ready. Okay. I'd like to call to order the March 24th meeting of the Bellingham City Council's Finance and Personnel Committee. We have before us 3 agenda items, 3 related agenda items. We have these same 3 items every year. They're very important accounting measures that we need to take because we settle our books on December 31st, and there's 3 related set of actions that we need to take to settle those books. So I'll let our Finance Director, Mr. Brian Henshaw, explain these 3 ordinances.
Thank you, Michael. Brian Henshaw, City of Bellingham Finance Department. You did a very good job of the lead-in. The first ordinance today adjusts the beginning reserve balance. During the budget process, we estimate the ending reserves for 2013, which are the beginning reserves for 2014. We then process all of the invoices through January 20th, and any invoices that we receive after that time period go into the current year, 2014. But this ordinance adjusts the beginning reserves for the estimated amount to the actual amount. And you can see on page 82 of the packet, it goes through fund by fund, all of the beginning estimated reserves, and then the adjusting, and then the approved reappropriations, which are the next two ordinances, and then the new ending estimated reserve for 2014. Most of these are due to capital projects. We historically have budgeted the entire project in the first year that it's in the budget. A lot of these capital projects due to design, either fish windows or permitting, carry over into the following year. And so a majority of the $46 million that we're asking to bring forward as a reappropriation are the capital projects. I'm happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, we can go on to the encumbered ordinance next.
Do we have to do
Gene?
these separately? I ask it every year. We have to do it separately, okay.
We need to do it each year, yes.
No, I mean,
One vote.
each ordinance has to be done separately.
They need to take place because they all build upon the first one. So if you want to vote on all three, you can, but I think we need to take
One
a
at a
look at
time,
each
okay.
one.
I'll move approval of the first one.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the first ordinance, which is to adjust the estimated beginning reserves for 2014. The sum total of the adjustment actually totals over $42 million. But again, this is to fix our accounting. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor of recommending approval of this ordinance tonight, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. I agree. We'll bring forward unanimous recommendation on that first ordinance tonight. Committee?
Thank you. The second ordinance has to do with encumbered goods. These are goods that either we have a contract or a purchase order or an interlocal agreement on. They're projects or goods that we've received half the order or a portion of the order, and we are just bringing forward the remaining portion so that we can complete those purchase orders or goods. Of the total amount of $14,833,000, you can see 11 million, almost 11.7 million are for capital goods, and $3.1 million is for operational goods. And I provided a detailed list to you last Friday in a spreadsheet. The plan is to go forward with the vote today for first and second, and then answer any questions either today. There are a number of department heads are here to answer any specific questions, or we can compile all those over the next 2 weeks and answer them between now and third and final. So,
Committee?
Move approval.
We have a motion to recommend approval of this ordinance tonight. This ordinance authorizes reappropriation of over almost $14.8 million in goods and services already ordered but just not paid for yet. I do have a question, though, because you did provide this excellent summary to the City Council, but I have this problem every year. These are large numbers in different categories, sliced different ways. None of those numbers, for example, matches the $14 million in this portion, and none of them matches the $46 million in the next one, because I guess how you're slicing the numbers in the presentation.
so the difference is on the revenue side. So we have to approve all of the expenditures, and then it's reduced by revenues. And so of the $14,833,000, we do have revenue of $87,000. So the actual ordinance has in it $11,746,000. So that's the difference on those numbers there.
I see.
It's offset by revenue. Instead of taking it out of ending reserves, we have offsetting revenue.
And that'll be the same with the other ordinance?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the number I see here is the non-revenue portion of the accounting changes.
Yeah, on that summary sheet, it's a net of $38 million, but there's $22 million of revenue, so it's $60 million of expenditures. So we gross it up for all of the expenditures, and then we reduce it by the revenue amount.
Thank you. Any further discussion on this? All those in favor of recommending approval tonight, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We have a unanimous recommendation for approval. I'll bring forward tonight. We go on to the third agenda item.
Okay, thank you. The third agenda item is for unencumbered goods and services. Again, most of these pertain to the capital projects and largely in the public works funds. But of the $46,147,000 40.7 is for capital, and 5.5 million is for operational. And as we just discussed there, Michael, some of this would be offset by those revenues. I would point out, too, that when I gave you the detailed spreadsheets, I've sorted those by projects. We budget by project, but in the detail, it's all by the account codes. And so I've tried to put all the project costs together for similar projects so that you can see the entire project costs. And we'll bring these forward with any questions or answers to your questions on the April 7th meeting.
Committee?
Move approval.
We have a motion to recommend approval of the ordinance tonight. This is an ordinance authorizing the reappropriation of $46.1 million for goods and services budgeted but not spent in this calendar year. I do have two quick questions. This is useful because, as you say, you've translated this into English, not accounting codes.
Yep.
Can this be made available on a website? I don't know if you have an appropriate site for it, though. Under budget, or I don't know where you'd put it.
I can certainly put it up there
Okay.
tonight.
And my next question is that we received our copy of the 2014 budget that we passed back in November now. Does this final version reflect all these reappropriations and about reserve ending numbers, or is this kind of out of date and this is up to date?
So all of these adjustments will be in the revised budget. So that just is for the adopted budget. I know. And now we revise it.
As soon as I got this, you're saying, I got this morning, and this evening it's going to be out of date. Thank you very much.
It's like a computer. When you walk out the door with a computer, it's out of date.
Yeah.
So
Did we vote on this yet?
No.
All those in favor of voting to recommend approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I agree. This is a unanimous recommendation to recommend approval tonight. Those are the three items, the end of the Finance Committee.
Right on. Good time.